Hi, Dr. Saxena here, and again talking about something like energy medicine, complementary medicine, and all that. And I've been fortunate to work with some real good people around, and I've been trying to understand what is the best thing I can do for the patient. Having said so, we do get some complex cases. It's not just a simple thing. In the sense, you are a person, whatever we are talking about, this electromagnetic radiation, all sorts of things. And I'd like to open up one more thing called geopathic stress here. What exactly this is the location and location. Always geopathic disturbance for unsuspected sickness should be sought after. I'm not talk about the golden rule of real estate when I say location. I'm talking about a faulty bed arrangement in your bedroom due to geopathic disturbance and their effects on your health. If the bed is in the zone of your geopathic disturbance, you may develop any unexplainable medical symptoms and unsuspected sickness while you are sleeping. This particular thing, it took me a lot of time trying to work with a lot of chronic cases, particularly cancers and all that. And I was very clear in the sense I had seen this kind of geopathic stress, having attended some kind of seminars in this environmental this one. And I said, let us try to do that. If even if I don't know the kind of location of the patient, where he's staying or all, and we don't have all that stuff, but just changing the direction of the bed had resulted in changes in the outcomes. So I'm quite excited. It's this things are called. There are many theories and names for geopathic this disturbance. The more commonly called Earth radiation or Earth ray. Other names like Curry lines, which are named after Manfred Curry, Dr. Curry, who was a MD, and they are called basically earth faults or cosmic energy shadows. Earth rays emit radiation from the earth above subterranean water currents. See, there are underflowing water currents which causes earth to emit radiation, which is basically called Curry lines or earth rays and all that. This disturbance is created by these earth rays are called the geopathic zones. Um, to tell you about geopathic zones and all, there are people who had worked extensively into that, but from a medical perspective, I can always tell any person having a chronic illness, he or she uh, must be having some geopathic component also. Whatever we used to tell about the causes of the disease is the nutrition, it's a kind of toxicity. Along with that, we're talking about electromagnetic radiation. We're talking about the kind of junk food. What is this? Apart from that, all this particular thing also is a entity. And I for very difficult cases which I don't find a lot of answers, I really rely on this particular thing. Just ask them to change the position or ask them to change for some time. They should change their place or try to go to some other place. And this is one thing which is called. There are some people who are highly sensitive physically and emotionally to the earth rays. This sensitivity is called radioesthesia. Radioesthesia. These individuals, they are basically this thing was described in the biological medicine, German biological medicine, and all the German practitioners and I have seen in India a lot of people talking about Vastu and other stuff. They are aware of this thing called geopathic stress. This geopathic stress and geopathic, what happens with that is people who sleep in these geopathic zones tend to suffer from unexplainable sickness. Usually it takes months or years to find out until the body becomes sensitized and weakened to the geopathic irritations to which it is exposed. So what happens here, the bacteria and parasites will more easily infect people already weakened from sleeping above the radiated area, the stress lines. So the invaders are more likely to multiply when you have got the weakened immune system. Um, so what is the thing? How do you know if you are affected by geopathic disturbance or earth rays? We try to work on something like a simple technique called ART, and the people use some kind of other methodologies, which is some pendulum and all that. But there are a lot of doctors who had practiced this particular stuff. Particularly, I'm talking about alternate doctors who had a good kind of. I had one of my friend was to do that. He's from Mumbai, and he used to just swing that pendulum and he used to tell that the energy, what is the kind of what this kind of thing is there. So this is being overlooked by most of the doctors like us, which we read MBBS and post graduation. We were not taught about all these things. One thing which I certainly believe that this what are the things which are being overlooked by these traditional doctors, which we were not read, that include heavy metal toxicity. We talk about, we have never looked into something like food allergies. We didn't know what are the hidden infections like parasites and nutrition deficiencies and unsuspected dental related medical problems. Yeah, you have got a lot of people who has cancer or who has a heart disease and all that. Their problem starts from the dental. In the sense, there is a epigingivitis which can be a cause for your heart attack, and you have to look into that. There is no other thing. So what happens here is I'll just stick to that geopathic stress here. What I want to tell you is this should be when what everything fails, when all else treatments fail. I would like to look at the geopathic stress and try to know there are indications. There are 10 indications of the presence of geopathic zones in disturbance in the bedroom. It is picked up from a book called Discoveries of a Dowser, Pendulum Dowsing, by Kathy Batchelor from Germany. So number one is aversion against going to your bed, especially if observing children. There must be some kind of earth rays. Not able to sleep, to go to sleep for hours, that's insomnia, and we see very common these days. I always believe the number one cause of insomnia and people who are not going to sleep is your whatever you are exposed to your blue light. Blue light is all the LED TVs and all that, and the fluorescent light, which is hampering your release of the melatonin from the pineal gland. And the third one is restless sleep, which is crumbling up sheet, nightmares, falling out of bed, crying out. All the symptoms are definitely there must be someone is sleeping on that zone of pathogenic zone, geopathic stress, which causes all this nightmares, falling out of bed, crumbling up the sheet. See, on avoiding certain spots in the bed, rocking and headbanging, particularly children. In fact, there is one thing called sleepwalking. Sleepwalking also can be a thing, and there are other things also have been this one. Other things are cramps, increase heart rate in the bed. See, you get cramps only when you go to the bed. So there is we need to figure out what is this. You have got desperate, you have got nervousness. People had nervousness, depression, just not feeling well. Even people have lack of appetite because of this, and fatigue, apathy in the morning and lasting throughout the day, and being cold in the bed, shivering, grinding teeth, and night sweat. So this are the 10 indications which are written in this book called Discoveries of Dowser. So I thought I'll just bring to this particular thing on the table. So we keep working on this particular thing, and I certainly would like to consider this as a geopathic disturbance as a medical cause, and this is one thing. Observations by a geological practice in 75, which was a paper which was Dr. Ashoff's paper from Germany, and he had achieved astounding results in his medical practice by relocating his patients' beds. He states no longer does a physician need a great courage to discuss these facts with his patients, since the phenomenon now enjoy general knowledge due to all the experiments which have been conducted over the years. So I tell them, you look at what is this called geopathic stress, and if you can understand what is this geopathic stress, then you can understand what I'm trying to tell you. Just by relocating the patient's beds, we had there is a big the outcomes are quite good. So I'll strongly I try to work on this particular thing, and I had this. Uh, this is if we can turn the wheel of destiny of the patient by just changing that particular thing, it's a very good, I think. uh, of course, I'd like to rule out other things also apart from that, but that is a last resort for me. And yes, if you have a pet lover and if you have dogs and cats, follow their instinct as guidance with the following rules. Dogs avoid earth race. All right. The others that avoid earth race are horses, cows, pigs, chickens, and birds. Even an obedient dog will not heed uh, his master's command. If he is ordered to lie on a radiated spot, he will move out from that place. Find a spot where dog likes to sleep in the bedroom, and that can be a spot for your bed. So this is one thing which is always, as a rule, cats are always a earth ray seekers. The other earth ray seekers are bees, ants, insects, bacteria, and parasites. Avoid spots where the cat likes to sleep in the bedroom. See, these are all the things as such. And for these serious concerns, I want you people, if you are really interested in this subject called geopathic disturbances, you can always Google, search for Dowson. You can always look at what is the geopathic stress. And I want everyone of my people who are interested in health to be educated and not medicated. Be educated and not medicated. Find a location of your bed without geopathic disturbance, and be happy and happy. That is where plants perish and animals are absent, then you are should not live there. The place is unhealthy. You will experience disharmony and lose your voice. When you, however, find the place where happy, vital, and healthy people live, and many old folks in the good health, then say there, you soon do without medicines of physicians. See, that's the mysterious forces of the earth make you healthy. This is quoted from Nostradamus. So I certainly want all of you should be educated and not medicated, and that is my idea behind putting all this videos and all that. And thanks.